The American dream is an extremely individual and ever-changing view that is described differently according to the person and the time period. The American dream has continually consisted of the want to have a family, but the specific makeup of that family has constantly changed over the last 100 years.
The way life used to be, reflections of the love you took from me.
The early 1900s saw many families immigrating to the United States. Though families were not always able to make the journey together, they would attempt to find one another once here in the States. Being in a new place caused people to hold on to anything familiar to them, especially all members of their family. It was often necessary to lean on members of one's family for help. This created incredibly close-knit extended families. We can see the multitude of people in this family photograph. Also depicted is their joy and happiness together. From their body language, it definitely appears to be a close family that not only enjoys each other's company, but can also depend on one another. That feeling additionally comes from their interactions with one another in this single moment and how close everyone is sitting. The early 1900s required large families in order for one to deal with their new surroundings. Seeing that it worked for most people and made them happy, made it wanted and dreamed about by everyone else. Less dependent on their extended family members, Americans in the 50s strived for the absolutely perfect and stereotypical family. This created the American family consisting of two parents and, as the saying goes, 2.5 kids. This translates into the photograph with the overly happy family, including a mother, father, son, and daughter. They seem as if life could not be any better than it currently is. They are the family that spends all their time together, beginning with reading the newspaper collectively in the mornings. Everyone sees this reflected throughout most media in the 50s and cannot help but want this for him or herself. Time continued from the 50s, and the American dream of a family did not falter one bit. Instead, it strengthened and broadened. The constant changing came to a halt, and many new definitions of a family developed in the following decades. The interesting thing is that they did not replace past definitions. Americans will forever have an individual dream, but in general, the American people have opened up to new possibilities in one another's dreams. In the 80s, the lifestyle of a single parent came into focus and was no longer looked down upon. Americans were able to accept that a mother or father was perfectly capable of raising children on his or her own. The photo depicts a mother who seems to be balancing raising a child with being a businesswoman. However difficult it may be, she seems to be happy and content, as is the baby girl. In more recent times, Americans have not only been accepting of single mothers and fathers, but extremely helpful towards them. Whether one chooses to be a single parent, which has become increasingly more popular, or is dealt that hand with seemingly little choice, no longer matters. Anyone is capable of having the family they choose, especially today with increasingly more acceptance for same-sex marriage and adoption. My photo signifies this. The huge smiles and closeness in the photo show that one can be joyous in a number of diverse family situations. In recent years, Americans have seen that the American dream is only about happiness and not about perfection of a preconceived ideal family.